It stands. We are 48% through the off-season. The NFL season is not nearly back. It's about 106 days away as we speak right now. We say that because we're going through a slow draft in one of our dynasty leagues at the moment. But, Tom, we're getting there. 48%, Luke Elder alongside Tom Collins. We'll work our way through a strength of schedule today. A few teams have been handed an easier schedule. I'll say that thing.
Yeah, this isn't my favourite podcast topic, I have to admit. But we're keeping the NFL content going on the Turf and Touchdowns channel. Obviously, lots of racing podcasts. There should have been a video, one of those sides at this, as you started watching this. But yeah, hopefully we can keep this NFL content going. 106 days left. That's not long, you know. The next time we're talking, it'll be about 86, and then it'll be 66, and then we'll literally be talking about the NFL being upon us and getting ready towards the season. And you did mention a slow draft that we're in there. It is so slow, mate. It is slower than the off-season. It's taking forever.
I don't hate many people, but anytime anyone takes a while to pick, like the clock started off as an 8-hour pick, and it's like, that's long. And then we cut it down to 4 going into the second round. And still, I mean, one guy just took Jonathan Taylor, didn't make the next pick. Make the next pick. He's on the end. He's on the turn. Just come on now. But are you happy with your team so far?
Yeah, I'm very happy with my team. We are talking NFL Fantasy League, if you don't know, and maybe you're watching NFL content for the first time. Imagine, let's say you're a football fan, soccer. Imagine a Barclays Premier League fantasy team, but it takes you 8 days to come up with your starting lineup. That is what we're enduring right now. I'm very happy with my team, and I'm just hoping that Russell doesn't watch our podcast because you just basically name dropped him there.
Yeah,
Actually,
Russell, you suck. Pick faster. Come on now. I'm after you. I want to go. If you haven't played NFL fantasy football, by the way, but you have played English fantasy football, just think of like English fantasy football, but like a million times better than that. And that's what you get with NFL fantasy football. It is unbelievable. And let's give someone the opportunity, Tom, to play NFL fantasy football this year.
What a link. This is why we pay you the big bucks.
You guys get paid? That was such a... I hate that joke. So many people make that joke. Yeah, we are having a listener league this year. We are giving away our 6th position, if you include me and Tom. So far, we've got Paul Powley, we've got Brother Tom, we've got Connor Hackett. They are all in the listener league. Remembered them off the top of my dome. And we've got 5 entrants for this week. And we're going to change things up. So far, Tom's picked. So Tom doesn't want the pressure. Tom feels like he lets people down every time he doesn't pick their number. Whereas I don't care. I really don't care. If you're in, you're in. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. But Tom is going to, this week, assign the numbers, I guess. But the guys that are in, or guys and girl, Laurie Quayle, Salmon E. Block? Salmon.
That is terrible from you. It's definitely Sam Niblock.
Sam Niblock, yeah. I was thinking like Italian.
Sam Niblock. If you're watching this, you're now called Samney Block. Okay.
Yeah. This is Sam Niblock. It's a Sam Niblock. I'm so sorry, Sam Niblock. Kelly Burgess is in, who made a draft pick this year. She was invited to the NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns. She is also a colleague of ours at Sky Sports Racing, but she is an absolute crazy NFL person. Scott Crowley and Gary Slater, who, I mean, Gary's just a crazy person, full stop. There's nothing else needed on that. But we've got 5 of them, Tom. I'm going to let you go ahead and assign the numbers, and I'm going to talk into my microphone still while I'm doing it. But I'm looking that way at my...
Okay, good. I'm not currently looking at what you're doing, so hopefully you're not looking at the screen right now. Here are the numbers, guys. I hope you can read those. And Luke can now make a decision.
Can I look back?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that I could look back.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Just like make the decision, but keep on looking over that way.
I'll tell you why that happened was because I got a WhatsApp message and it popped up on the screen for everyone to see.
I mean, that could have been real bad.
It could have been shocking, but I think it was all right.
So we're picking 1 to 5?
Yeah, 1 through 5. 1 through 5.
1 through 5. I mean, we're talking about the draft. We're talking about NFL fantasy football. Let's start at the top. Round 1, baby. Let's go 1.
Number 1 is Laurie Quayle. Welcome to our listener league, sir.
No, do it again. Do it again. He's a Seahawks fan. We can't have 2 of us in the draft.
One's enough.
I mean, albeit this year, probably wouldn't be a bad thing having someone trying to beat me to Seahawks players. I think I'll take that. But Laurie Quayle, welcome to the Listener League. We've got 6 more spots left to give. We'll be giving them out throughout the course of the summer. Thank you, everyone, for getting in touch. If you didn't make it, I do care. I was joking earlier on. I really hope that you do make the Listener League. We'll be giving out 6 more spots going forward. But, Tom, we also have one more favour to ask of the listeners.
Which is?
I just want a few more subscribers.
Just a few
more. Just like 1 million or something like that. I'm not asking for much. We're on 740 at the moment. Anyone that watches this that's new, you like what we're doing, that would be great. If you could subscribe to us, if you could leave a comment down below. How do you rank your team's strength of schedule? Any predictions for the upcoming year as well? That would be fantastic. But we're looking to hit 1,000 by the end of 2025. If we don't do that, then we're just going to give up and there will be no more podcast. We haven't discussed that. But let's go through the NFL strength of schedule. Announced last week. It was announced in the most ridiculous way possible as well, Tom, in a sense of, oh, here's the Christmas game. It's like, oh, here's the London games. Oh, here's all the international games. Or here's 1 or 2. And it's like, hey, it's not that exciting. Just tell us the games.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think it's overly exciting at all. Obviously, if you support a team, if you follow a team, then it's good because you get to know who you're facing throughout the year, especially if you live in the US or over here. If you want to go to the international games, you can find the date, put it in the calendar, book tickets, whatnot. That is fine. I absolutely have no problem with that side of the schedule. The other side of it is, oh, this team's got a really strong schedule. This team's got a weak schedule. Well, firstly, we kind of know that's going to happen anyway because of the divisions, and every team has to play the teams in their division twice. If you're in a bad division with bad teams, your strength of schedule is going to be easier than if you're in a division with good teams. That is just basically straightforward. Obviously, we have to talk about the other games that they're allocated, which is the whole point of this podcast, and we're going to provide a bet towards the end. Maybe the strength of schedule has kind of helped towards that bet, making it look like a good price. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Biggest winners and losers. But it really isn't much, is it?
Yeah, no, not at all. It's not much between either of them. But we'll dive straight into it. Biggest winners. I mean, I wouldn't say a team gains an advantage. In fairness, we already know what team's going to play who. It just depends where they're going to play each other in regards to the calendar year. But some teams have got a harder start. I mean, you look at a few games, the likes of the Tennessee Titans, Tom. What if Cam Ward comes out and stinks immediately? Do they start Will Levis for 4 weeks and then put Cam Ward in? Those sorts of things, they're quite important.
Yeah, they're very important. It's stuff that we don't know, and it's just not put into the percentage qualifier, which is what judges which team has the best and worst schedule. I will say, though, that my biggest winners, I actually do think are quite notable winners in terms of the schedule. They're the only team that I could really look at and go, they've done all right with this fixture list this year. And that is, drumroll, the Buffalo Bills, which, I mean, they don't really need help anyway because they're such a good team. They're in a weak division, aren't they? The AFC East, they've won it 5 years in a row. They're against the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins. I mean, 3 teams that probably aren't going to be any good again. The Patriots haven't really been good since Tom Brady. Obviously, they've got a couple of new weapons and a new quarterback, but they're still not going to be elite. The Jets, they're struggling. And the Dolphins, well, Tua Tagovailoa needs to complete a whole season. So, in my opinion, that's going to be 6 wins for the Bills, home and away. I think they beat all 3 of those teams every single time. Then you look at the other games that they've got, and I think it's pretty tasty. Their home games are arguably their strongest games, and playing up in Buffalo is a big advantage for the Bills. At home, they face the Ravens, Saints, Chiefs, Bucks, Bengals, and Eagles. Now, you may think, wow, that is a tasty list of top quality teams. You're not wrong, but you're playing them all in Buffalo. It can get super cold. It will be snowy in November, December time. That is for sure. We see it every single year, and that suits the Bills. The Ravens, they don't play well when they go up to Buffalo. The Chiefs, I don't think they're going to be any good this year regardless, to be honest. I know that's going to really please some of the comments. The Bengals are a good team, but they, again, don't want to be playing in sub-temperatures, and the same probably for the Eagles. So I think those home games really suit Buffalo. If they were on the road, they would lose quite a few of them, but it's not. Their road games, on the other hand, are pretty simple. I think they win them all. They face Atlanta, Carolina, Houston, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland outside their divisional games. I don't see a team that beats them there. Mm-hmm. I like the Buffalo Bills. I think they're the biggest winners.
Did you say that you don't think the Chiefs will be very good?
I did say that, yeah.
Can you hear Gary at home right now? Go, he done it again. He done
That,
it again. He keeps on bullying me.
that is why I said, oh, that's not going to please the comments. I just thought in my mind, I'm looking forward to seeing what's written now.
By the way, that is exactly what Gary sounds like. By the way,
Is it?
don't
Yeah.
question it. That is Gary's voice.
Carbon
100%.
copy.
Yeah, 100% spot on. I'm going to go for my winners. There are a couple, honestly. I think the Carolina Panthers have got a decent strength of schedule, but also rather close to home. I think the Atlanta Falcons have got a decent strength of schedule as well. Now, they both, I mean, they're going to play similar teams. The Panthers start off quite nicely, actually. They've got the Jaguars in week 1, which they're still piecing things together. They're a very new team as well, the Jaguars. They got the Cardinals the week after, who, look, they're no gimme, but they're a team that you would fancy your chances against. They take on the Falcons, then they go for the Patriots, then Dolphins, Cowboys, Jets. Then things get harder. They play the Bills, they play the Packers. But the good thing that both of these teams get to do each year is they get to play the Saints. Now, the Saints suck. Since we last recorded our latest podcast, Derek Carr has retired. We didn't think he was necessarily going to play the season anyway. So it's something to keep in mind. Maybe Tyler Shuck, he might be the starter. It could be Spencer Rattler to start the season off. I mean, if it's Spencer Rattler, you can, for the Saints, as long as he's starting, you could probably put in 0-4, 0-5, whatever. But even when Tyler Shuck comes in, I don't think the Saints are going to be a very good team. Full stop. But regards to the Falcons, it's kind of the opposite. The Falcons actually have quite a tough start to the season. They've got the Buccaneers in week 1. That is not a nice starting point whatsoever. They've got the Vikings to play as well. They've got the Panthers also to play. Then they go to the Commanders. Then they go to the Bills. Then life gets a bit easier. They got the 49ers, then the Dolphins, Patriots. But I think their strength of schedule is okay. And the main thing is they finish okay. They've got the Saints in the final week. They've got the Cardinals third last week. They've got the Seahawks to play fifth last week, who I don't know how good we're going to be this year. It's completely up in the air. And they play the Jets the week before that. So I think the Falcons have done okay. One of the weird bets, actually, Tom, and this is often a bit of a tangent, you can bet with some bookmakers on what stage a team is going to go out. Now, the Falcons are 1-2 to not make the playoffs, which I don't love. That's quite short. They're 6-1 to go out in the wild card round.
It's not bad.
I think it's okay, honestly. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think there'll be a team that scrapes in. And I can see them going into the playoffs and then getting beaten by a better team. But I think 6-1 is fair. It's not a bet that I'm putting up, but I'll alert you guys to it. I think the Falcons could be okay this year. The question is, Tom, is Michael Penix any good?
Yeah, that is the biggest question. He's just gone in our fantasy draft that we're in. I think he's a good player, but we'll see. He needs to have a connection with Drake London and a couple of other receivers. Obviously, Bijan Robinson is their main piece on offense. He needs to perform this year and score a lot more touchdowns than he did last year for the Falcons to be good. But we'll see. They're all work in progress, and maybe under Penix they could be nice.
Yeah, he had that connection with Drake London back end of last year. It was like a 50% target share, I think, to Drake London. So that's going to have to be corrected. But at the same time, I think the Falcons could be sneaky good this year. They are, let's say, in an okay division for it as well. Tom, give me your biggest losers of the schedule release.
Yeah, I don't think there was a big loser, to be honest with you. But obviously, for this category, we have to try and find one. Most of these teams, as already mentioned, have either a tough schedule due to their division or they're just not very good anyway. So the schedule actually probably doesn't matter that much. The team I'm going to put up as the biggest loser is a very good team. They're the Super Bowl champions. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. The reason for this is not only have they got to come back to try and repeat what they did last year, but they're doing it with an aging team now. AJ Brown's not getting any younger. Saquon Barkley, obviously these players are all still quality, right? But Saquon Barkley, running backs don't generally last that long, so he's kind of fulfilled his dream, and now he's going to try and repeat it, and it just doesn't always happen if you look at history. I don't know about that defense either. And if you look at their strength of schedule, they've got to go to, these are their road games, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Vikings, the Packers in the winter, LA, and then Buffalo. I mean, that is just not easy going on the road to those sides. Compare that to the Buffalo Bills road schedule, and it's just polarizing. The Bills have easy road games. The Eagles have tough road games. Their home fixtures are quite nice, generally, the Eagles, but they do have to face the Broncos, who I think are going to be very good this year, and Detroit at home. So they're not easily winnable games. Obviously, I still think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs, but I don't think we're going to be seeing them secure the number 1 or 2 seed this year.
No, it's a tough spot. Albeit, if you're Super Bowl champions, yeah, you kind of should get the hardest schedule the year after. Do you know who I feel a little bit sorry for? And you're not going to agree.
Go on.
I feel a bit sorry for the off-season champions of every single year in the Chicago Bears. Now, I spend quite a bit of time saying about the Bears every off-season. They did well, and I think they did well this year. They've signed Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson on their new look O-line to longer deals. Hopefully, they've sorted that out for Caleb Williams. Keenan Allen's no longer there. Rome Odunze is. Obviously, they brought in Colston Loveland. DJ Moore's still there as well. Cole Kmet as well. He's also there, and they also drafted Luther Burden. So things look good if you're a Chicago Bears fan. The only thing they haven't solved so far is the running back situation. DeAndre Swift and Roschon Johnson, they look to be 1-2 at the moment. However, have you seen, Tom, the start of their schedule?
I have, but the people at home may not have, so go on.
They start off at home to Minnesota, which I know it's going to be JJ McCarthy's NFL debut, or we hope it's going to be JJ McCarthy's NFL debut. The Minnesota defense are good. They're going to be a hard defense to try and work out. And then if you go 0-1 in that, go on, get to Detroit in week 2. You've then got to go and take on the Lions. If you go 0-2, suddenly you've then got to try and take on the Dallas Cowboys. That's not going to be a nice game to play. Vegas in week 4 is easier. Then they get their bye. And then after that, it starts up again. They get the Commanders in week 6. New Orleans, okay, there's your layup. There's your gimme. And then Baltimore, then Cincinnati. And then you get the Giants. That's okay. Then back to Minnesota. Then back to Pittsburgh, who are always a hard team to beat. Philadelphia, Green Bay. It's just a horrible, horrible time of things this season. Look, everything has been built, Tom, around the Chicago Bears being a good football team. But my word, they're going to need to be this year.
Hey, that is just lovely news to my ears. That is what I like to hear. I don't want them to be good. Put them in the bin.
Put them in the bin. They are in a very hard division as well. Say Vikings, Packers, and Lions, right? For some reason, I just had in my mind that the Lions were in a completely different place. But that, I mean, trying to compete and trying to get into the playoffs in that division, good luck. Good luck. You've got to play both of those teams a couple of times. I think the Chicago Bears may struggle a little bit on their strength of schedule. I think they are maybe one season away from being a good team. However, they've done everything right that they can do in their sort of remit. They've done a great job. Regards to tips or fancies or selections going forward, you're doing the thing last year that I hated, in that you're giving your selection in the award that's an opinion.
Yes.
You're doing the MVP thing again.
And why do you hate it?
Josh Allen again.
Why do you hate it? Hey, we went close last year.
We did.
I put up Lamar Jackson, and I think he got like 45%, and Josh Allen got 54%.
Lamar, did you? Yeah. Okay, right. I thought you had done Josh Allen last year. My apologies. But even so, you're betting on someone else's opinion. Stop it.
Yeah, but it's an opinion that is biased, right? We know that it's going to go to a quarterback, and we know that it's going to go to the quarterback of a good team, and we know it's going to be to a quarterback who is kind of looked upon nicely in the media. There are only a handful of people that can actually win this award, and I think it's like 5-1 the field if you look at the market. So, okay, maybe it is based on opinion, but I think it's a pretty gettable market. We were very close last year. I did put up Lamar Jackson. I think it was 8-1, maybe it might have been 6-1 to win MVP. I think he probably should have won it, but they gave it to Josh Allen. Well, you know what? I've learned from my wrongs. We're going for Josh Allen this year, the repeat, and I really like his price. I think he's 6-1 with most firms in the UK. That is very bettable to me. As I've already talked about, the Buffalo schedule is strong. And I think they're going to have a strong season. I think they're going to win at least 13 games like they did last year. Josh Allen won it last year, the season MVP, going 13-4. Why is he not going to win it again this year if they go 13-4 again, or even better, which is highly probable? I think Buffalo just dominate this year. Josh Allen's going to run in a bunch of touchdowns. He's going to throw a bunch of touchdowns, and everyone's going to be talking about how great Josh Allen is. I think he's a good bet, 6-1 in the regular season MVP betting.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Look, as much as I hate the market and betting in that market, he's probably the right one. 6-1's a very fair price. I'm going a little bit shorter, and I'm going a little bit more. I don't know. Is it mainstream to take the over/under win total?
I don't think so.
No, fair enough. But I think the Falcons, their line, I think the actual line is 7.5, but you can get 8.5 out there. If you want to take 7.5, that's fine. It's a bit of a shorter price. But 8.5 is a price that I like. Is 6-5 at the moment to get over 8.5 wins, so effectively 9 or more. Last year they managed 8. This year, they're going to be a better team. They managed 8 as well with Kirk Cousins at quarterback, who was a statue for a large part of it. And the back end of the year, Michael Penix came in, and suddenly you have to be a starting quarterback in the NFL now. They were pushing to be a playoff team last season. Like I say, this year, they start things off on a rather hard note in the sense they've got the Buccaneers, they've got the Vikings, they've got the Panthers, but they're still winnable games. And they're games that the Falcons will, at the very least, be competitive in. And then, as I say, they get to play the Saints twice. That should be 2 wins. They get to play the Dolphins. I think they'll beat them. They'll beat the Patriots as well. They'll beat the Colts. These are games that they're expected to win. We'll say that much. And then there are other games like the Jets, like the Seahawks, that they are, again, possibly going to be favoured in. You only need one more win than last year. They're a young team. They're getting better all the while. Drake London took a big step forward last year. Bijan Robinson, I thought he looked fantastic last season. There were only 2 games behind the Buccaneers, who had a fantastic season. I think the Falcons could go well. Like I say, start of the podcast, 6-1 for them to be beaten in the wildcard round for them, how their season to end. I don't think that's a terrible price, honestly. Even if they do finish second to Tampa, I think they'll be a playoff team regardless, and then maybe they get beat in the wildcard round. But I like the Falcons, Tom, over 8.5. They're a team, from a fantasy perspective as well, that I am targeting this year.
Yeah, well, we are slowly building up our anti-post portfolio for the NFL season as well. So if you have watched this podcast for the first time, go and check out our other NFL podcasts that we've got over the last couple of months, because there are some other anti-post bets, and we'll revisit them towards the end of the year, won't we? And on the Falcons, I don't disagree. I think they're a nice offense. The defense needs to be a bit better this year, but why not? It's not exactly, you're not exactly asking for the limit, are you? You need 9 wins.
Yeah, more than doable. Like I say, last year was 8. Yeah. They're a better team this year. But go check out all our NFL content right now on our channel as well. There is a horse racing preview. We are 7 winners from the last 7 podcasts. Even if you don't like horse racing, you like winners, right? That's a positive. Go take a look at our horse racing stuff. Hopefully we'll find another winner and make it 8 from the last 8. One final thing, Tom.
Go on.
It's golf day.
It is golf day today. Hopefully everyone knows this already after watching the racing podcast. But if you haven't, it's golf day. Luke is 1-0 against me. I'm 0-1. Today we make it 1-1. If you want to guess who wins out of Luke and I, Luke beat me by 8 shots last time, but we were shocking. Put it in the comments down below.
Yeah, Luke birdied 2 holes, which is great, and we'll just leave it there. Don't need to get anything else.
Did you just refer to yourself in the third person?
Yeah, Luke. When someone is on that amount of greatness.
Right, we have had 2. This is a 25-minute podcast. We're ending it now.
Right, I'm going to go win at golf again. We will see you guys in a few weeks' time. Horse racing on our main channel. Subscribe to us. Leave a comment down below. Good to hear from you guys once again. We will see you next time. Until then, stay safe. Look after one another. Goodbye.